Hey, what the hell is up with you? You're always at home, relaxing around, doing nothing. And all you do is eat and sleep, every single day. I am not working here just so I can feed you and take care of you. If you're not even going to do any house chores, then start finding a job. Then my husband, Nick, began to get really upset once again.
Shut the hell up! If you insist that much, I'll leave you in this home for good. Once I'm gone, you'll know how I was important to you, and you better learn to be thankful of me.
With saying just that, my husband packed up his belongings and left. My name is Mary, and I am 32 years old, working in a company. I had been a workaholic all my life, and I loved doing my job and working really hard for the company. Seeing me like this, a friend of mine got worried that my work was my love, so she arranged a blind date for me to go to, and that's where I met Nick. At that time, Nick seemed to work at a nursing home and had a nice smile, good-looking, and was very kind to me. From the blind date, we hit it off and began to go out. Nick would understand my busy working schedules and how busy I was at work. Even when I worked late and couldn't see him for a few days, he would never give me a look which would say that he hated that part about me. Instead, he would ask me, "Are you eating something nutritious for your health?" and worries about me. All the male colleagues in the company where I work at are all eager to get promoted, so no one worries about me like how Nick does. In fact, most of my male colleagues sees me as their rival and even thinks that if I faint or something, they will have one less rival to beat. This was one of the reasons why I was really moved by Nick's kindness, as he was really different to the guys I knew from work. Nick would cook for me at home and wait for me when I was busy, and he even made lunch for me on mornings when he slept over. Since Nick has been living on his own for a long time, he could do all the house chores really well. I was beginning to think that I might be able to build a happy family with such a kind and wonderful man like Nick. And then, Nick proposed to me. I immediately accepted his proposal, and we got married. Many of the people at work congratulated me, but I think most of the male colleagues were also surprised.
That workaholic Mary is getting married? I thought that she'd end up being single for the rest of her life.
Many of my colleagues would say such mean things about me. But at any rate, I found my happiness. We held a wedding ceremony, went on our honeymoon, and started our newly wedded life together. My newly wedded life with my husband was a lot of fun. My husband really took care of me and did the house chores mainly. Of course, I also did some house chores on weekends and days where I could, but I was still as busy on weekdays, so it was helpful that my husband took the initiative to do the house chores mainly. "Nick, everything you cook is really delicious."
Right? I've been working part-time in the kitchen at a restaurant all my life, you know. Look, I made some quick snacks, which goes really well with beer, so eat up.
Yay! Thank you. I love to drink, so I really loved the food my husband made. He made a lot of easy, quick snacks that went well with alcohol, so I think I drank quite a bit when we were together. I have always been devoted to my work, but I am so lucky to have met such a wonderful, caring person. I thought that I would be able to spend happy days like this with my husband from now on. But it was about a year after we got married that things began to get a little bit strange. "Nick, I did it! I finally got a promotion."
Oh, wow. That's great. Well then, we're definitely celebrating today. Let's have some delicious steaks and drink some good wine.
That sounds amazing. Yay! I love steak. My husband was very happy about my promotion. From what I had heard around me and on the internet, I had heard that some husbands cannot be honestly happy when their wives get promoted first, perhaps out of pride. But my husband was not like that. He was really happy for me. That's what I thought, and I really thought that he was a nice person at the time. But...
I'm thinking of becoming a full-time house husband.
Huh?
Well, if you will get a promotion, you will become even more busier than now, Mary. So, then, I think it would be better for me to do all the house chores and support you back at home.
But I've been working overtime under the company's regulations all this time, so the times that I'll work for the company won't change even after the promotion that much. So, I'll be busy, but it'll be the same busy schedules that I've been having this whole time.
Oh, is that so? But even so, you'll have more responsibilities once you get promoted, and won't it be easier mentally if you don't have to do any house chores at all?
Oh, Well, you're right about that.
Right. So, from now on, I'll quit my job and be at home to support you, Mary.
Since my husband suggested so strongly, I agreed to his idea. Indeed, my husband was right, as my responsibilities at work would increase from now on, so there could be possibilities where I might forget or I'd be too tired to do any of the house chores. If that is the case, since my husband is going to stay at home, I may as well rely on him to do all the house chores. And nowadays, it is not at all unusual for husbands to become house husbands anyways. So, it was decided that I would work and he would stay at home taking care of all the house chores. And this plan was a great success. I was freed from the role of doing any house chores and was able to focus more on my work than before. My husband quit his job and was able to focus solely on house chores, allowing him to spend more time to cook, clean, and running errands for the house. Whoa! The room is really clean.
Right? I've cleaned up literally every little details of the rooms compared to before.
And the meal that you made is so good. This beef stew is so tender and delicious.
Well, now that I have more time, honey, I can definitely take the time to cook difficult menus, which would take some time. We'll be able to eat a lot more of this kind of meals from now on.
Yay! I feel like I'm at a little restaurant every day.
No, it won't be like that. I'll even cook some Italian or Chinese meals depending on the week.
That's amazing. I'm looking forward to it, honey. Since then, my husband served me all kinds of tasty home-cooked meals. Even when I came home tired from work, my husband's cooking as well as beer made me feel instantly relaxed. I was having the time of my life living with Nick. And then one day, I came home from work to find that nothing had been prepared for me to eat. There was no sign of my husband in the living room, too. I thought, what's going on? And I went to Nick's room and found him sleeping on the bed. Oh, was he really tired? My husband was sleeping with his face down on top of the duvet, as if he had just dived into the bed. I don't know how long Nick had been asleep for, but sleeping like this, he could catch a cold. I gently tapped my husband to wake him up.
Oh, what time is it?
It's already 9, honey.
Oh, no, really? I'm really sorry. I forgot to cook.
It's okay. Honey, you were tired too, weren't you? You haven't eaten yet, right? Why don't we just order today? How about pizza?
Yeah, sure. I'm really sorry.
I didn't mind Nick being like that at all, because it's only normal to have days like that sometimes. I was rather grateful that he had been so good to me all this time. That day, we both had beer and enjoyed the pizza. But few days later, the same thing had happened. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but a little while later, the same thing happened once again. And sometimes, the morning dishes were left untouched. And I felt that Nick wasn't doing much of the house chores bit by bit in general compared to before. The laundry was piled up, the floors were dirty, and I wondered if Nick had even vacuumed around the rooms. When I came home, my husband was often asleep on the sofa or on the bed. He used to cook delicious meals for me, but the other day I saw a lot of empty boxes of prepared foods from the supermarket. Well, I am grateful that he still prepares them for me, but recently he has been cooking less and less and asks me, "Can we order something?" as if it was normal to do that now. Even though he suggests to order food, I think to myself that all the delivery fee is going to be paid all by myself. I thought that this was something I could not overlook anymore, and talked to my husband about this. "Hey, aren't you slacking off a little too much about the house chores?" Then my husband started to get upset.
What the? I'm doing my best here. Being a house husband is not easy, you know. Don't you dare underestimate me just because I'm the house husband.
"I'm not underestimating you. It's just that you used to do everything around the house, but lately I feel like you're not doing them at all."
I do get tired sometimes too, so give me a break.
No, I know that, but I'm only just saying that he's slacking off too much because it's the truth. But my husband wouldn't try to discuss about it with me at all. I finally gave up talking to him and just had to put up with it. After that, my husband still continued to not do the house chores. Or rather, I guess he started to think that he could ignore house chores without any hesitation because I didn't warn him about it so strictly after that. My husband literally became an unemployed scumbag who wouldn't do anything around the house, always sleeping around when I came home. He just really sleeps all the time, non-stop. What the hell was he even doing during the day? At this rate, I guess he's just being lazy and not doing anything during the daytime too. The morning dishes were left untouched, and eventually I would buy lunch or cook a simple meal when I got home from work. My husband would eat what I cooked or bought without even thanking me, and then lie down on the couch or bed after that and sleep away. His day literally consisted of eating and sleeping. This is nowhere near what a house husband would do. All these frustrations I had gradually built up day by day. Then one day, I had a little trouble at work and I wasn't feeling my best. And when I returned home, my husband was just relaxing around in the living room, laying on the sofa. When he noticed that I had come home, he asked,
"Where's the food?"
At that moment, I exploded with all the frustration I had been feeling from work and all this time. "Hey, what the hell is up with you? You're always at home, relaxing around, doing nothing. And all you do is eat and sleep every single day. I'm not working here just so I can feed you and take care of you. If you're not even going to do any house chores, then start finding a job." Then my husband Nick began to get really upset once again.
Huh? Who the hell do you think you are, Mary? I'm the one who has been supporting the house and family all this time, and you don't even have any tiny ounce of gratefulness towards me.
I have been grateful towards you up until now. Lately, I have been doing all the house chores and work and trying to balance them, but all you do is just sit around and do nothing.
Shut the hell up! If you insist that much, I'll leave you in this home for good. Once I'm gone, you'll know how I was important to you, and you better learn to be thankful of me.
With saying just that, my husband packed up his belongings and left. Why has my husband changed so drastically like this? Will I ever be able to fill up this gap that I have between my husband and I? As I was worrying like this all night, the next morning I came down with a high fever. As expected, it was too difficult for me to go to work, so I took the day off and went to the hospital in the morning. I ate some yogurt and took the medicine which the doctor gave me. Then the fever went down a bit and I felt better, so I laid down on the sofa and watched the TV while relaxing. Then suddenly the doorbell rang. Who could it be? Was it my husband? Had he forgotten his keys? But When I saw through the peephole to check who it was just in case, I was surprised. It was a young woman whom I've never seen before. From the way she was dressed, she wasn't a person from the post office or a courier. Could it be? I quickly set the camera app on my phone to record a video and answered through the peephole, trying my best to keep my voice low.
Oh, hey, what's going on?
I tried to say it in a manly tone, and hearing this, the woman said, I came to see you. So I said,
I see, all right,
and opened the door.
Come on in.
I opened the door saying that as I held my phone and waited for the woman to come into the room. Then the woman came in saying, Oh, Nikki, how I missed you. And then I asked her this. Who the hell are you? Ah! Who the hell are you? I am Nick's wife. Excuse me? Then the person who answered the doorbell earlier wasn't Nick, but... I changed my voice and answered it, of course. Are you having an affair with Nick? The woman began to panic and said, No, I mean... Hey, turn off that camera. No, I won't turn it off. And if you won't reveal yourself, I'm going to have to call the investigators to investigate about you. After I said all this, the woman gave up and told me everything. She told me that she was a mother who lived around in the neighborhood, and that she and Nick had met at the supermarket, became friends, and then began having an affair. I'll never forgive him. My husband was having an affair while I was working really hard. He was playing around with another woman with my hard-earned money. I am sure that he was ignoring the house chores because he was busy having an affair during the day. I immediately decided to leave this house. Originally, I had rented the room under my name because my income was higher than Nick's even when we were both working. So, I could also terminate the lease whenever I wanted to. I sent all of my husband's belongings to his parents' house and terminated the lease for the room. In the meantime, I rented a room in a new apartment and moved out. Soon after that, my husband contacted me.
Hey, why are you sending all my stuff to my parents' house without any permission?
Because you did leave our home, didn't you?
Well, this is only temporary.
No, it's not. You've left for good. So, I want a divorce.
Huh? Divorce? Wait a minute. Just because of this, divorce is the wrong answer.
Well, no it isn't, and there's more to this, you know. Because I know that you were having an affair.
What?
Your mistress thought that you were at our house the other day, so she came over for a little visit. The housewife, who said that she met you at the supermarket.
Oh, no. Oh, I was seduced by her.
Don't give me any excuses. I'll make sure that you pay me alimony.
No way.
When I called him at that time, I heard a woman's voice over the phone. Could it be that woman he was having an affair with at the time? No, but there was no way that Nick would stay over at that person's house. I mean, she's a mom, and she must be living with her husband. Could it be another woman? I decided to investigate with the investigator just to make sure. A month later, I received the results of the investigation and was just dumbfounded by it. My husband was having affairs with 4 different women, and all of them were married. So I immediately sent content-certified mails to each of the mistresses' homes. As a result, my husband was sued by all of the other husbands for alimony. Then my husband called me once again.
Mary, how dare you do that to me? Because of what you did, I have to pay a lot more now.
What the hell? You had it coming. You've been shaking your hips like a rabbit every single day, and by the time I get home, you're so tired that you're always asleep. If you want to live your life like that, then go ahead. But just don't be an asshole, and don't ever break the rules that we have in our society like how you did this time. Alimony is the price for breaking these rules. Just be quiet and pay it up, you asshole.
Ah!
My husband sounded frightened, as if he didn't expect me to yell so much to him. I hung up the phone, blocked all incoming calls from Nick, and left the rest to my lawyer. The divorce was finalized smoothly, and I filed a claim for alimony against my ex-husband and all the women with whom he was having affairs with. But since my ex-husband did not have the financial ability to pay all of the alimonies, his parents decided to pay them for him instead. Nick's parents were very angry with my ex-husband because of this incident, and now they are monitoring him every day, making him work from morning till night and using all of his income to pay back the amount they had lent him. Well, it's a natural process, so I have no sympathy for Nick whatsoever. Meanwhile, I continue to work as hard as ever and got promoted to a higher rank. Since I can live completely on my own now, I think I will take it easy on my love life without forcing myself to get married. Having an affair with 4 different women while being supported by his wife? How much of a scumbag is this man? To be honest, I really think Nick should have experienced much more for what he had done. But I am glad that Mary got her alimony. I hope Mary can find her true love and happiness with a decent man in the future. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.